So, I've been getting into my management games a lot recently, and the newest one I've got is Train World. And before we get into this video of is it worth playing Train World, I need to give a massive thank you to Keymailer, the devs and the publishers for giving me a key to play the game. So this game launched back in July of 2023, and they are still updating the game, I'd say, like, fairly regular. They had new trains arrive in March, and then they've done a bunch of updates to industry ports, and there's even more stuff there. They did that on the 20th of May, so a few days ago. And I started this game, I wanted to kind of jump in because I had a feeling it was going to be like Transport Fever 2, but with just running trains instead of trucks, planes, boats, and things like that. But I jumped into the tutorial to get to grips with the game and kind of get a little understanding. And all the tutorial teaches you in this game is how to set up your train lines. It doesn't even fully explain those. It teaches you about freight and passengers, but the explanations are very minuscule. It doesn't teach you a lot. So jumping into a new game, kind of hoping I would have a decent understanding, and yeah, I was left in the dirt completely. Because what you need to do in this game is you start off with absolutely nothing. You've got a small region on a gigantic map. And the game is based on years. However, I couldn't actually find a way to see what year I was currently in. The game does state that each quarter lasts 5 minutes, so a year is 20 minutes of gameplay time. But it will never ever tell you what year you are currently in. The way the progression works in the game is when you successfully set up lines, you build up your reputation. That reputation converts into research points, and then you can progress through the different eras. You can go from steam trains to electric, and the trains get quite fast in this game. They go from starting off at like 70 kilometers an hour max speed. They go all the way up to one that goes 259 kilometers. So there are very, very fast speed trains. But you start off with a couple of industries, couple of cities or towns, whatever you want to call them, and you would think at the start there is a possibility to do freight, and you very quickly get shut down after setting up your track and everything, because freight is not an option until you make a bit of progress in the game and it tells you that there is a new production available. So you have to start off with passengers, and creating your train line isn't as clear as I feel it should be, because the game will tell you in order to summon a train in, you have to have a depot attached to the track. So a lot of people will probably go into this game thinking that you start your train's route from the depot, and then if you do that, it tells you that the route has to end at a depot as well. But when you set up a train line in this game that starts at a depot and ends at a depot, there is no loop, and there is no way to get it to loop, so you can't get your train to leave the depot, go through all the stations, go back to the depot, come out again and do it all over again. The train will just go back into the depot and stay there in standby, so you're going to have to manually start the train up all over again. So what you have to do is attach a depot to your tracks, but don't add the depots into your route. You just add the stations, and then it puts it on a loop. So when it comes to passengers, you don't have to loop your track like you do with the freight, because rail for freight trains is a one-way system, whereas a passenger line, the train can go to the end station and it can turn itself around on that track and head back the way it came from. And once you get going in this game, it is a lot of fun. There's like quite large maps in the game. One of the biggest issues I found was the lack of zooming out. You can't zoom out very far in this game at all. But then it kind of works like Railway Empire 2 and Transport Fever 2. Your goal in this game is to transport as many passengers and as much cargo as you possibly can to make money and progress through the eras. So besides the tutorial not doing what I feel it should, not having an in-depth explanation enough so that people understand it properly, and besides the zoom feature not zooming out far enough in my personal opinion, besides that, this is a really, really good game. You can have massive train lines up. You can have really, really fast trains, a bunch of different like cargo types, or we'll call them carriage types, that sit on the back of the train. I'd say the biggest struggle anyone's going to have in this game is figuring out how the tracks actually work, putting your depots down, doing your signals. But other than that, it's just a nice chill experience, being able to start in a very small region. You eventually unlock more to make your map bigger, because you start on a very, very large map, but you have this small region that you get to work in, and then it slowly expands over time. So is it worth playing Train World? I'm going to say yes. It's quite expensive for a game of this style. It does cost £23 or around $25 or something like that on Steam. It currently has a discount which is going to end on the 27th of May. It's 20% off, so it's a little over £18 at the moment. And yeah, if they could work on those features and maybe even add in a year so that people can actually see what time they're playing in, I think the game is stable enough. It runs really smooth. It's not early access or anything like that. They are just like doing post-launch development. And if you like trains, you like the management side of it, creating your tracks and your routes and everything, once you get into it and you understand the game properly, it's a very, very fun time. It can just be a little bit frustrating learning the ropes, especially after doing the tutorial and still not having any idea of what to actually do. So yeah, I'm going to say it's definitely worth at least trying out Train World. And what we're going to do on that note is leave the video there. Let me know your thoughts and stuff about this game in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.